Introduction to Excel. In this exercise, we'll be learning about different Excel skills. If you don't already know, you'll learn how to navigate through the ribbons, understand how a spreadsheet is organized, practice adding and naming sheets, inserting columns and rows, and moving cells. Now, keep in mind that you have to walk before you can run. If you're new to Excel, these exercises cover some critical Excel techniques. If you're already familiar with Excel, then these will just serve as a quick refresher. If you haven't already, please find and open your Start file. An Excel file is also known as a workbook, and each workbook can have multiple worksheets shown as separate tabs across the bottom of the window, like you can see here. So I have my intro, my formatting, pattern, fill, formulas, and there are actually more tabs across the bottom. If you can't see all of your tabs, you can click this little dotted line and drag it, and you'll be able to see more of the tabs that are in there. To add an additional worksheet to a workbook, you can either right-click on a current tab and choose to insert, or you can click the plus sign just to the right of the tabs. Either way, you can add one, and you'll see it ends up by default being named Sheet 1. We're going to go ahead and move that by clicking and dragging. We'll place it right before the first tab, 1 formatting. And then to rename it, because we want to make sure that our tabs are all named appropriately, you can double click and type over the current name, or you can right click and choose rename. Go ahead and name this your last name. And press enter or return. And now you'll see the two main areas that open in every Excel window. The worksheet, this grid area on the bottom, and the ribbons, which are across the top. The worksheet is where you obviously actually do the work. You type the data and you perform the calculations. The ribbons above give you many options to customize the worksheets and manipulate the data. Now at the top of your window, Windows users will see a Display Ribbon Options button. This button allows you to choose if and how you want to display the ribbons and their options. Mac users, you'll see a small arrow near the upper right corner of your window next to the Share. This is a toggle to hide and view the ribbon tools. Alright, let's go through the ribbons. The File ribbon gives you options for managing the entire file, such as creating a new file, opening, saving, and printing. There are many other file management options in this section too. The Home ribbon is mostly about formatting the sheet cells and all the data within. The Insert ribbon enables you to add additional content, such as pivot tables and charts, which is something we'll be doing later on. The Page Layout ribbon, as you might have guessed, has many page or sheet options, including themes, margins, backgrounds, and more. The Formulas ribbon helps you create formulas and functions, which are just preset formulas. The Data ribbon has options for managing data, including the often used sort and filter tools. The Review ribbon has tools that help check spelling, add comments, protect the content, and much more. The last ribbon is View, and this ribbon enables you to look at your work in different ways. You have page break view, you can zoom in or out, you can choose different window arrangements. That's all contained in this View ribbon. Now, right below the ribbon is the formula bar, and I don't have it here, but we use it a lot, so you want to make sure it's visible. And to do that, make sure you're inside the View ribbon and check the box next to Formula Bar, and you'll see the formula bar pop up here. As you can see below the formula bar, the worksheet area is set up like a grid. Columns are represented by letters across the top, and the rows are represented by numbers down the side. Let's go ahead and put in some data. So I'm going to put in some names. Let's put in Anna. And I'm going to hit enter or return, and that will automatically take me down to the next cell. So we have Anna, David, Carly, and Adam. All right, now I'm going to click up in cell B1, And I'm going to put in some sections. So let's put 2, 4, 6, and 5. And then we'll enter some grades in column C. So let's say somebody gets a 95 and a 62, a 78, and an 86, just for instance. And you might know what these are because you inputted the data, but someone else isn't going to know what these are. So we want to have some sort of heading above each of our columns to signify what everything is. But we don't have a place to put it. So I need to insert another row. When you want to insert a row, you simply click and select the row that you want to insert the new row on top of. So I want a new row on top of row 1, so I'm going to right click on the current row 1 and choose Insert. And that will insert an entirely new row. Likewise, let's say you wanted to put a column in between B and C. I'll right click on column C, and when I choose Insert, the column will always insert in front of the current row I had selected. Now, I don't actually want that, so to delete a column or a row, you right click on the row or column header and choose Delete. But I do want to keep this top row, and I'm going to put name up top. And then I want to move over a cell. Instead of going down a cell where we hit enter before, I want to go over to the side. So I'm going to hit tab and it will move me over one cell. And the next area is section. I hit tab again, and these are the grades. As you can see, entering data into a spreadsheet is really easy, whether it's text or numbers. If for some reason you needed to move a cell or a group of cells, that's also really easy to do. Let's say I wanted to move the grade column. I would go ahead and select that area and then take your mouse over to the edge of the selected area, and you'll see it turns into a 4-sided arrow. You can then click and drag cells anywhere you want them to go. This is handy when you're setting up a new spreadsheet and you're trying to make sure that everything flows nicely. Now that you understand some very basic Excel skills regarding how to set up a spreadsheet, we can move on to some other more advanced skills such as formatting and creating formulas. But before we finish, let's go ahead and delete this sheet that you just created. To delete a sheet, you're going to right-click on the name of the current sheet and choose Delete. Excel will confirm with you that you really want to delete it because you can't get it back after you do delete it. We'll press OK, and then you can move on to the next exercise. I would, by the way, highly recommend saving in between each of your prep exercises, and you can either just hit the Save button up top or go to File, Save As, and make sure you save your files somewhere safe.